Have you ever eaten something and just felt off afterward? Maybe your joints ached more, your brain felt foggy, or your mood dropped for no clear reason. Most women over 60 have no idea that certain foods they've trusted for decades, even healthy ones, could now be quietly sabotaging their body. After menopause, your system changes. What used to work might now be triggering inflammation, weight gain, memory lapses, or worse, slow muscle loss you can't even see happening. In this video, we'll uncover 7 everyday foods that might be doing more harm than good. If you want to stay strong, sharp, and emotionally steady, please don't skip this one. This isn't about fear, it's about power. The foods we'll talk about today are ones many women eat every week without realizing the long-term damage. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and why, so you can protect your muscles, memory, and mood well into your golden years. Let's start with this: white bread, and why it quietly drains your strength after 60. White bread might seem harmless, soft, familiar, comforting. You've probably made toast or sandwiches with it for decades. But after 60, white bread can work against your health in ways that go far beyond carbs. Here's why. When you eat white bread, your body breaks it down into sugar very quickly. This sudden spike in blood glucose leads to an equally sudden crash. That crash doesn't just leave you tired, it makes your brain foggy, your mood irritable, and your muscles weaker over time due to insulin imbalance. Muscles need stable blood sugar and proper fuel to stay strong. Unfortunately, white bread robs your body of that balance. It provides a quick hit of energy, but no lasting nourishment. For women over 60, especially postmenopausal women whose metabolism has slowed, these constant blood sugar spikes lead to inflammation and contribute to conditions like sarcopenia or age-related muscle loss. Even worse, white bread contains very little fiber or protein. That means you're left feeling hungry again soon after eating, leading to overeating, weight gain, and emotional frustration. Fiber is essential not just for digestion, but also for gut health, which in turn affects mood and memory. Many older women don't realize that the gut-brain connection becomes even more delicate after 60. A poorly nourished gut from low-fiber foods like white bread can increase feelings of anxiety, low energy, and forgetfulness. Some researchers have even linked processed grains to increased brain aging. The worst part? It's so subtle. You may not notice it in one slice, but over time, the effects accumulate. More fatigue, more stiffness, more mental fog. And because it's such a common food, we don't suspect it. The good news? Replacing white bread with high-fiber options like sprouted grain bread or whole rye can make a dramatic difference. You don't have to give up bread, just upgrade it. Your muscles, your mood, and your mind will thank you. Next up, flavored yogurt, and why it can quietly age your brain and body faster than you think. Yogurt has a reputation for being healthy, especially among older women trying to support their bones and digestion. But here's the catch. Most store-bought flavored yogurts are packed with added sugar, artificial flavors, and even chemical thickeners. These ingredients might taste sweet and innocent, but they can accelerate aging in surprising ways. After 60, your body becomes much more sensitive to spikes in glucose and insulin. Eating one small cup of flavored yogurt can contain as much sugar as a donut, sometimes more. That sugar doesn't just affect your waistline, it triggers inflammation throughout your body, including your joints and brain tissue. And over time, Chronic inflammation is one of the biggest drivers of memory decline and low mood in postmenopausal women. You might eat yogurt thinking it's supporting your gut, but if it's sweetened and processed, it's doing the opposite. Excess sugar damages the gut microbiome, leading to poor digestion, bloating, and even immune issues. What many women don't realize is that the gut directly communicates with the brain. An unhappy gut sends stress signals that affect your mood, memory, and focus. This is why something as simple as sweetened yogurt can leave you feeling low energy, anxious, or foggy later in the day without understanding why. Another concern is the artificial ingredients added to these yogurts. Things like carrageenan, synthetic fruit flavors, and emulsifiers can irritate the digestive system and increase inflammation markers in older adults. And unlike real fruit or plain yogurt, these additives don't bring anything of value. No fiber, no real antioxidants, and no healthy fat. What you're left with is a sugary processed treat disguised as health food, one that breaks down your body's resilience over time. If you love yogurt, you don't have to stop eating it. Just switch to unsweetened Greek yogurt and add your own fresh berries, chia seeds, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. You'll keep all the benefits, calcium, protein, probiotics, without the silent sabotage. And best of all, you'll feel fuller, clearer, and more emotionally stable with every spoonful. Now let's talk about this one, canned soups, and how they quietly weaken your muscles and your memory. Canned soup may seem like a cozy, convenient meal, especially for seniors living alone or those who don't feel like cooking. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most canned soups are loaded with sodium, chemical preservatives, and unhealthy fats that work against your body's needs after 60. One of the biggest dangers? Excess sodium. A single can of soup can contain over 1,000 milligrams of salt, nearly half your daily limit in just one bowl. And what does that salt do? It increases water retention, raises blood pressure, and creates a slow but damaging impact on your heart and brain health. High sodium intake has been linked to cognitive decline in older adults, especially women, who may already be at higher risk for memory loss post-menopause. But it's not just salt. Many canned soups contain MSG, monosodium glutamate, a flavor enhancer that can cause headaches, brain fog, and in some cases even mood swings. If you've ever felt off after eating canned food but couldn't explain why, this could be the hidden reason. The body after 60 is less efficient at flushing out additives and chemicals, so these substances linger longer, contributing to joint aches, swelling, and inflammation that wears down your muscles and energy levels over time. And then there's the fat content. Some creamy canned soups use hydrogenated oils, a source of trans fats that were once common in processed food but are now being phased out. Still, older cans or budget brands may include them. These fats have been directly linked to cardiovascular disease and inflammatory responses, two things that can rob older women of their mobility, clarity, and confidence. What's tricky is that canned soup feels like comfort food, but it's often a comfort trap. It tricks you into thinking you're nourishing your body when you may actually be loading it with chemicals that chip away at your health little by little. But there are better options. Low sodium, organic, or homemade soups made from real veggies and bone broth give your body warmth and nutrients without the damage. Add some lentils, spinach, or turmeric, and suddenly your soup becomes medicine instead of poison. Now let's uncover this one, French fries, and how they secretly speed up aging from the inside out. French fries might be one of the most loved comfort foods out there. Crispy, salty, nostalgic. They bring back memories of fast food stops or home-cooked dinners. But after 60, your body simply can't process fries the way it once did. And unfortunately, those golden strips are one of the biggest culprits behind accelerated aging in women. Why? Because fries are a triple threat. Trans fats, high heat, and starchy carbs all rolled into one bite. First, let's talk about the oil. Most fries, especially frozen or restaurant prepared, are deep fried in cheap vegetable oils like soybean or corn oil. These oils oxidize at high temperatures, creating compounds that increase oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress damages your cells, especially muscle, skin, and brain cells, and is a known driver of premature aging. The high heat used in frying also produces acrylamides, a toxic compound formed when starchy foods are cooked at high temperatures. Studies suggest acrylamides can increase inflammation, interfere with nerve function, and even affect mood and memory over time, especially in older adults. On top of that, French fries are simple carbs with little fiber. That means they spike your blood sugar, leading to the familiar crash that leaves you fatigued, foggy, or craving more. Over time, these sugar spikes wear out your insulin response and encourage the breakdown of lean muscle, a serious issue for women already at risk of sarcopenia. Even if you eat fries only once in a while, they can have long-term effects. That bloated, tired, heavy feeling afterward. It's your body signaling stress, your digestive system working overtime to process something it sees as a threat. The more often that happens, the more you'll feel sluggish, inflamed, and disconnected from your usual energy. But there's a better way. If you love that crispy texture, try oven-roasted sweet potatoes or air-fried root veggies tossed in olive oil and herbs. You still get the crunch, but now with fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats that support your muscles and brain instead of breaking them down. After 60, comfort food should comfort your body too, not quietly steal its strength. Now here's a big one, diet soda, and how it tricks your brain, weakens your bones, and confuses your hormones after 60. Diet soda might seem like the healthier choice. 0 sugar, 0 calories, all the fizz. For many senior women trying to manage weight, it feels like a smart swap. But what most don't realize is that diet soda brings its own hidden risks, especially for women over 60. The artificial sweeteners used in diet drinks, like aspartame or sucralose, don't just satisfy your sweet tooth. They actually confuse your brain. These fake sugars are hundreds of times sweeter than regular sugar, and your body still reacts to them by releasing insulin and preparing for calories that never arrive. Over time, this disconnect can disrupt your metabolism, increase sugar cravings, and ironically, lead to weight gain and insulin resistance. But it doesn't stop there. Research has shown that daily diet soda consumption is linked to higher risk of stroke, memory loss, and even dementia in older women. While these findings are still being studied, they point to the reality that your brain doesn't benefit from artificial sweetness. Instead, your neurons may suffer. What's worse, diet soda can also deplete calcium and weaken bones. Many of these drinks contain phosphoric acid, which affects how your body absorbs essential minerals. And after menopause, when bone density naturally declines, this becomes especially dangerous. You might think you're protecting your figure by avoiding sugar, but you could be increasing your risk of fractures, joint pain, or slow recovery after a fall. And let's not forget your gut. Artificial sweeteners can disrupt your microbiome, the good bacteria that regulate digestion, immunity, and even mood. Women over 60 are especially vulnerable to gut imbalance, which can show up as bloating, fatigue, or brain fog. If you've ever felt off after a diet soda, that's not in your head. It's in your gut. Instead of diet soda, try sparkling water with lemon, mint, or a splash of unsweetened cranberry juice. You still get the fizz, but now you're hydrating, protecting your bones, and supporting your brain. It's a small change with a massive impact. After 60, your body deserves real nourishment, not chemical confusion dressed up as refreshment. Next is this silent offender, processed meats, and why they chip away at your heart, hormones, and clarity after 60. Think deli ham, bacon, sausage, hot dogs, all the meats that come pre-packaged, pre-sliced, or pre-seasoned. They might feel convenient, protein-rich, and easy to prepare, especially for women who live alone or are cooking less often. But after 60, your body becomes far more sensitive to the chemical preservatives and sodium in these processed meats, and the effects can be surprisingly widespread. These meats are often cured with nitrates or nitrites, additives that preserve color and flavor, but are also known to increase inflammation, particularly in the blood vessels. Over time, this can impair circulation to the brain and muscles, leading to memory slips, fatigue, and difficulty with physical movement. What many women don't realize is that processed meats have been linked to increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and even certain cancers, all of which are already more common as we age. But the risks aren't just physical. These additives can also affect your mental and emotional health. Sodium overload contributes to bloating, stiffness, and poor sleep. And poor sleep can rob you of your energy, focus, and emotional balance the next day. For women in their 60s and beyond, that disruption can feel overwhelming, especially when paired with the hormonal shifts of aging. And here's something most labels won't tell you. Processed meats often include hidden sugars, fillers, and artificial flavor enhancers like MSG. These additives can trigger mood swings, worsen joint inflammation, and even disrupt hormones like estrogen, which many postmenopausal women are already low in. When your hormones are already in flux, these meat-based additives can throw things even further off balance, leaving you feeling more anxious, sluggish, or mentally clouded than before. But that doesn't mean giving up meat entirely. Lean, unprocessed proteins like wild salmon, grilled chicken breast, or grass-fed beef can support muscle tone, brain health, and emotional stability without the chemical baggage. If you love the flavor of sausage or bacon, look for nitrate-free organic versions with minimal ingredients. Read the labels. Your body will thank you, not just today, but in the strength, steadiness, and sharpness you carry into the years ahead. Finally, packaged baked goods, and why they quietly dull your memory and slow your body after 60. That store-bought muffin, soft cookie, or packaged pastry might feel like a small treat, a sweet moment with your tea or coffee. But after 60, your body processes these ultra-processed baked goods very differently. Most of these products are loaded with refined flour, added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and chemical preservatives that create a perfect storm inside the aging body. These ingredients spike your blood sugar quickly, causing insulin surges that lead to energy crashes, sugar cravings, and eventually fatigue and inflammation that damages muscles and fogs up memory. Over time, this pattern contributes to muscle breakdown, emotional highs and lows, and difficulty concentrating. But it's not just the sugar. Many packaged baked goods include trans fats. Even if the label says 0G, that's because products are allowed to round down small amounts, and those trace amounts build up over time. Trans fats are directly linked to heart disease, reduced brain function, and increased joint pain. For older women who may already be dealing with hormonal imbalance, bone density loss, or chronic aches, these invisible ingredients quietly amplify all of it. These foods also lack fiber and nutrients, meaning they don't satisfy you. Instead, they trigger a reward loop in your brain that makes you want more. And when your body doesn't get the nourishment it needs, especially after 60, it begins pulling energy from your muscles, storing more fat, and slowing your metabolism. That's why even just a small cookie here and there can add up, not just on the scale, but in how sharp, balanced, and energized you feel each day. Even worse, some packaged baked goods include emulsifiers and preservatives that disrupt your gut microbiome. And as you've seen throughout this video, a disrupted gut leads to mood swings, anxiety, and poor focus. Things so many women blame on age when it might actually be what's on the plate. You don't have to give up treats, but make them at home with almond flour, oats, bananas, or coconut oil. When you use ingredients your body understands, your brain thanks you. You feel lighter, more focused, and more in control. After 60, food should comfort you, not sabotage you from the inside out. Aging doesn't mean giving things up. It means getting clearer about what truly supports your body, your mind, and your peace. Every bite we take either feeds our energy or drains it. And now you have the knowledge to choose better. Not perfectly, just better. The foods we covered today may seem small, but they add up. And when you make even one change, swap that bread, skip that soda, choose real over processed, you're honoring your body in the most loving way. You've made it this far for a reason. Let's keep going, stronger, sharper, and more supported than ever. Thank you for watching. See you in the next Elder Radiance video.